Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 187 of our trek, and yesterday we learned the 10 habits to create a better day. Today we will expand this concept as we hike the trail of the 10 principles for gaining self-confidence. If you miss any of our days of the Wisdom Trek episodes, please go to wisdom-trek.com to listen to them and to read the daily journal. We are recording our podcast from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. It was a bit of a windy day, and our large wind chimes provided nature's music throughout the entire day. Our workload continues to be very full this week, so it's left little time for us to focus on the 2016 business plan so far. As the Christmas holiday approaches, we hope that we will see a bit of a slowdown, and we will take advantage of those opportunities. We will be watching our 4 Marietta grandkids this Saturday evening, while Elizabeth and Nat attend his company Christmas dinner. And I also have the privilege of speaking again at the Putnam Congregational Church this Sunday, so I'm preparing for that as well. But for today, it's time to head out on our trek as we hike the self-confidence trail and search for the 10 principles that we can apply to our lives that will allow us to gain the confidence and self-esteem that we need. Self-confidence is manifested as an opposite of arrogance, which is usually the result of low self-esteem. As we begin today, consider this quote from Malcolm Forbes. Too many people overvalue what they are not and undervalue what they are. This quote can be linked to a Bible verse that I've used a couple times over this past week, which is Psalms 139:14. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. And another verse that should help us to gain confidence is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so that we can do good things He planned for us long ago. And as we meditate on these two verses, it is not arrogance that we should gain, but a humble thankfulness to God for who we are in His sight. So let us focus today on the 10 principles of self-confidence. Principle number 1. The importance of self-confidence in our lives cannot be overstated. It is, after all, the lack of self-confidence that causes our lives to be tossed to and fro by the sway of the culture. From the very beginning, we see the harmful effects of low self-confidence on our decision-making process, while the fear of rejection becomes an all-too-common presence in our life. It causes many to adopt the values of the group and engage in otherwise undesired behavior. Simply put, the need for love, belonging, and acceptance becomes stronger than the internal compass that's within us, and many unhealthy life choices begin to emerge. In adolescence, the need for acceptance begins to show itself in substance abuse, underage drinking, dangerous sexual practices, and mischievous behavior. As we get older, some of these habits remain, but new ones begin to emerge. The desire to find acceptance by impressing those around me with my possessions begins to motivate aspects of my life. And whether it is a certain size home, a vehicle model, fashion trends, or the latest technology, many of our purchases are made with the simple desire to keep up with our neighbors and not be regarded as falling behind. Our need to impress and to be accepted becomes more important than wise spending habits. Principle number 2. Self-confidence redirects our lives. Self-confidence begins to realign our desires with the unique heart inside us and allows us to reject the trends of a culture built on consumption. When self-confidence is present in our lives, we begin to believe that we exist for a greater purpose than shopping on Black Friday. The need to impress others with our belongings is replaced by an internal desire to follow our heart and soul, and to embrace the desires deep in our soul is to reject the notion of shopping for acceptance. Principle number 3. Stop comparing yourself. Reject the desire to compare yourself to others. When we compare ourselves to others, we always contrast the worst things that we know about ourselves to the best things that we know about others. This inevitable outcome always leaves us with a feeling of inadequacy and despair. Become wiser. Tell yourself that you can't possibly be making a fair comparison and reject this idea altogether. Our 4th principle is to celebrate your uniqueness. Your life is never meant to be lived like anyone else's. You don't look the same, you don't sound the same, and your talents aren't the same. And even your deep-held values are unique to you. Throwing that away just for the sake of being accepted by others is one of the cruelest things that we can ever do to ourselves. And it will always prevent you from living the rich and satisfying life that you desire. Instead, champion the things that make you unique and find confidence in them. Principle number 5. Focus on the positives. Change your thinkings. Focus less on the negatives and more on the positives. Stop dwelling on the negative messages of the past and begin centering yourself on the positive traits in your life today. Principle number 6. See past failures as learning opportunities. We've all tried and failed at some point in our lives. Confident people look back at their failures and view them as learning experiences. In that way, failures can actually provide a greater self-confidence moving forward. Learn from your mistakes, but try again. Remember that it is not over when you lose, it is over when you quit. Principle number 7, help someone else. One of the most important steps in finding self-confidence in your life is to give yourself to others. Serving another person almost always results in a healthy realization that you are important in this world and that you have something to offer, and the world is more beautiful because of your presence. See a need around you? Whether it is a need for time, finances, or a listening ear, meet it today, and the life that you change may be your own. Principle number 8, begin realizing a life goal. Intentionally and specifically begin working toward a life goal of yours. Know that taking the first step is a momentum builder and can generate confidence in your life. There is a powerful difference between I want to and I'm beginning to. So write the first page, run that first mile, or meet that first person. You know what you want to accomplish and you know what the first step is. Stop telling yourself it's out of reach and take that first step. Principle number 9, accept your weaknesses. While dwelling on our weaknesses leads to a lack of self-confidence, accepting them is an important step in developing self-confidence. First, it keeps us from an unhealthy delusion of grandeur. It embraces that we are not perfect and forces us to live our lives in a healthy need for others. Secondly, it provides us a foundation to accept failures when they arrive. We are not caught off guard when we fail. Instead, we are simply again reminded our need for others to complement our weaknesses. And principle number 10, be known and loved. There is no greater key to self-confidence than being intimately known and genuinely loved by another. Allowing another human being into our deepest depths of our hearts is one of the single most difficult acts in our world today. But doing it and being loved despite of it brings life into our souls and builds confidence in our innermost being. And this confidence continues to grow as the commitment to each other deepens. To be clear, the importance of self-confidence in our life cannot be overstated. It provides a motivation to pursue our passions. It provides a foundation to reject the claims of a consumerist culture. And it provides the incentive to live the life that you've always wanted to live. In fact, your capacity to love others is a manifestation on how much you actually love yourself. Galatians 5, verse 14 puts it this way, "For the whole law can be summed up in this one command, love your neighbor as yourself." The 10 principles of self-confidence are universal. Review them and then practice them each day. And as you gain confidence in yourself, share Wisdom Trek with your family and friends and encourage them to join us, and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. And we will explore the basic rules for making good and wise decisions. This will finish our podcast for today. Remember to listen to your daily dose of wisdom each day at wisdom-trek.com. or subscribe at iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or any of the other social media platforms. And please share Wisdom Trek with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. If you'd like to be added to our weekly email updates and special publications from Wisdom Trek, just text the word WISDOM to 44222 on your phone, and you'll receive a message asking you for your email address. It's very quick and easy to do, and we will not bombard you with a lot of emails. The journal for today's trek can be found at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I consider you my friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.